Next is a guy that I think next year we could be talking about as a building block. Marcus Epps. He's 27 years old. He's a safety. He's a fifth year in the league. This is a guy that's done a lot of production. They go and get him. I think he still has a step in his game. Like, we put Jacoby Myers on the building block list, even though he was a free agent, because I think at the level he's played, I think Marcus Epps has played really good, but I still think Marcus Epps has more in him. I really like this signing. So he's a role player today, but I don't expect him to be in that role next year when we do this roster evaluation. Marcus Epps, your thoughts?
Yeah, he was one of many legitimate contributors they had in that Philly secondary. That Philly secondary was loaded with different pieces to use last year. And he comes in. I mean, obviously, you're bringing him in to start opposite Trevon Moehrig at the other safety spot. I like Marcus Epps when I watched him in the NFC East. I think he has, the ability as a pass defender and also coming up to stop the run to have an impact. We know that safety's been a weak point for the Raiders for a while now, or there's been it's been unsettled at the position. And I think this is the type of guy that you're hoping with him. I know we'll talk about some other guys too, but like Trevon Moehrig, Chris Smith, maybe fifth round pick. You're hoping to kind of solidify those safety spots in the years ahead. And I think that I offhand, I'm not sure how many years he signed for Marcus Epps. I think it was it 3?
Auto
I think.
three, yeah.
Yeah. So they're thinking that he could be part of this team and be part of this unit for more than just 2023. He's not a renter.
Next guy is a corner that used to be here and played at a super high level when he was. He's entering his sixth year. He's 28 years old. Brandon Facyson. I like this guy. I think he's a building block. The reason I have him in the role player mode is they let him go when they first got here, which at the time I was very critical of. And I think I proved to be correct because they brought him back. But this is a guy the fact that they let him go tells me, okay, maybe they didn't believe in him. But the fact that they brought him back is, okay, maybe we should have. I expect him to be in the building block mode next year, like Marcus Epps, and we talk. But this is Brandon Facyson. I like his game. I like a lot about him. He's still young. Your thoughts?
Well, we know that the Raiders wanted to revamp that secondary this offseason, and they certainly did that. They brought in they brought back Marcus Facyson, who's got to play the Rutgers, excuse me, Brandon Facyson, and they brought in Duke Shelley at corner, and they also bring in David Long. So they were trying to revamp that entire position group, and I think that you're hoping when you do that, and also with a couple other guys they brought into position, that couple of them stick and become long-term type contributors. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's obviously the hope for any of those guys. And I think that you'll see, what how those roles shake out, because it will be fascinating, because one of those guys, the three that we named, isn't going to start on the outside, because there's only 2 starting spots on the outside, and the nickel you're going to get maybe Nate Hobbs or Ja'Cory Bennett, the rookie. So one of those guys is going to be your third cornerback, and not have as big of a role. But it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. But Brandon Facyson is somebody who definitely has the ability to earn a starting job and contribute for the Raiders after coming back from Indianapolis.